All right, let me get my mic over here. Minimize that. All right, so I am in the between watching the hockey game and thought I should do a little window shopping. So that's what we're gonna do on live. And I will get my iPad. And if you want to chime in on what you're looking at or what you're waiting on or what you want to see, I don't have a lot of things that I'm interested in, but we can talk about whatever. It's cool too. Oh Lord, my iPad's dead. Of course it would be. I'll try to pay attention to your comments on the screen, hopefully, as I watch the Sharks play right now. All right, cool. All right, nice. Let me see if I pull this up. Can I see your comments anywhere? I don't see. Maybe that's it. Nope, that says interview. I'm using Ecamm Live, so I'm just trying to see view streaming. Yeah, I'm not sure where the. Oh, there we go. That's the chat right there. Comments, favorites, comments. Hmm. If anybody's in the room looking, throw me a comment or two up just so I can in the chat so I can actually see if I see where the comments actually are because I'm not seeing it. Overlays, show view, show camera. Nope, don't need to do that. Show comments. So this has to be where the comments are, and I'm not seeing anything right now. All right, cool. I'm gonna leave this up and the iPad will be charging while I'm talking. Okay, so what am I interested in? Hopefully you guys can see this screen. All right, so NAM is approaching. New stuff will be coming out, I'm sure. What am I looking at? Well, the first thing is the Astrolab. I think that it's definitely on my top list because I use Arturia stuff a lot, particularly all their plugins, well, pigments, and I use some of the other ones too, like the Mellotron in a lot of my songs. Um, so for me, this keyboard appeals to me. I want something that I could use with Koala. I don't want to go with an MPC. I obviously don't want an MPC, and I wouldn't get an SP44 again unless they changed some things in it that made it a little more fluid. I remember all the button combos to get this stuff for the most part, but I just have no desire of dealing with button combos just to use a machine that I'm gonna have to transfer the sounds over to Ableton anyway. I might as well just record into Ableton, but having something like this where I could just record into the iPad would be kind of, or actually would probably make me use the iPad a little bit more, but that would be the hopes, right? So I want to look at the back of this. So interesting. I know it's a vocoder on here, so they got a mic input with a gain, which is kind of cool. I wonder down the road why they just didn't put like a little interface in this thing to make it more. Because I think if I'm not mistaken, there is Bluetooth or something in it where you can use your phone to it. Um, it's cool. You got headphones, you got left, right, out, so that's cool. Sustain. This little mini storage. I'm not sure what you use that for, but I know what the computer's for. That's kind of cool that you can hook it to the computer, but I think it's just to um, be able to transfer sounds, if I'm not mistaken, or use it as a MIDI controller. I love a keyboard with a power switch. I think that's the best thing ever. I don't think you should ever make a keyboard and not put a power switch on. That's just my opinion, though. All right. So I was talking to some guys on here. I think on Raul's Lifted Noise on his video, and he just got it in like right on the video, which is crazy. Why is this thing acting out? Anyway, he got in on the video and then he was just kind of trying it out. So, but I think some of the people that have it were in the comments and chimed in that, yeah, you can put your own sounds. And I can't remember if you can have 1,000 or something like that, but that's pretty cool. Well, let me turn on this video here. I think I got my iPad to 3% if anybody's in there. Okay, so now I have my chat up. I don't have to use this, and I haven't seen anybody respond in here yet, so no problem. All right, keys are mini keys. I think Arteria makes some of the best mini keys that are out. I've had their mini keys on other devices like the keys. Is it the Key Step? Yeah, the Key Step 37. So I'm imagining they're at least that good. Um, but yeah, and then they have some effects built on here and your knobs here to be able to control movement. So very cool like that. So that's the main thing that I'm looking for, and it's just for the purpose of having the portability. I'm not going to tote around my Osmos keyboard. It's gonna stay put. So most of the time I'll be making music on the laptop, probably more often than not. But when I'm using Ableton, I mean not Ableton, Koala, or I'm on the go, something like that, where I just want to record in some parts, some samples and stuff. I think that would be a quick little keyboard to pull out. And now the one thing I don't care for, I wish they wouldn't have done was, but I understand why they did. I mean, to put this much power into a keyboard, you got to have at least 12 volts, I would imagine. So having 12 volts requires a power brick of some sort. So I think I can supply enough power to control this. I don't think it's going to be that bad. Um, we'll see. So this is definite, like number one on my list right now. I was thinking about what else do I really want? I just don't see myself messing with samplers unless the Akai puts out like MPC that has like that's super portable. It would have to be like the SP404 size or like this Chaos Chord Chaos size. And this to me, I really think Roland should personally get into something like this. I mean, it's $1,000, but I mean, it would be worth it if you have this. Look at this screen. It doesn't even have to be a touch screen, but the screen, you got the buttons that you need. They're all right there. A little convoluted, but it can't be much more convoluted than the MPC Live 3 right now. So look at those, the knobs on the side. You get you some Q links on that side or whatever, and you could make a little miniature portable MPC. It's got a volume, little trim pot right there for your microphone. So yeah, with a little level signal. This thing is really nice looking. I just don't think it was in Korg's best interest to make something like this. And I really don't understand what they have a USB B port on the side for, or on this back for. Can you see that? There's a USB C. That makes sense. But what in the world do you need a USB B micro? That's a micro. I'm sorry. A USB micro port for weird. Um, yeah, and I don't know what those are either, but otherwise this is like the perfect size box for what I would like to see in a portable device. I think this would be kind of nice. It's a dynamic effects and a sampler, but nobody ever cares about it. Look at, they have the trigger pad bank and everything. So it'd be pretty cool. All right, so this is not what I'm looking for, but this is just an idea of what it could be if I was going to go with a sampler of some sort. Um, yeah. So if you guys are in the comments, just I'm watching it now. I can actually see the comments. Chime in and let me know what you're looking for, or what, if there's anything, or if you're not looking for anything. Maybe you're looking for just plugins. We'll talk about some plugins too that I'm interested in. Um, one of them's not even out, so I can't even really show it to you, but it's Expressive Ease Maestro that they're coming out with. I don't know when it's gonna drop, but that's definitely on the radar. It's basically think Swan instruments like horns and stuff like that. But I like their violins that they did and other stuff, so it's pretty cool. I'm using AMS because I actually use AMS and I like their. I've never had really major issues with them, so I always like supporting people that kind of support me. Now they don't give me anything for free, but nonetheless, it's still a good little company to buy from, and they all pull from the same place Zounds pulls from, so they all use the same warehouses to get their materials. So if you didn't know that, now you know. Let's see what else is coming out. Let's take a look at. I'm gonna just open a new link here, and let's look at Sweetwater because sometimes they'll show stuff for the NAM. They're also doing a clearance, so highly suggest if you're interested in something, hit the clearance, see what kind of deals they have. Sometimes you can grab something that you want a little bit cheaper. Let's see what they have on here. Again, we're just window shopping. That's it. Meaning we ain't buying nothing. We just looking at potential stuff that we could buy. I'll tell you something that I really been wanting, and I talked about this not too long ago, not on my own uh YouTube channel, but it was on Chordmaster. We were talking, and and believe it or not, it's a poly-in device called the poly-in Mess. This device here, this price is horrific for me. I just for an effects device, it's just a little bit much. But let's speak of the good stuff. I mean, it's got a step sequencer in it, four independent effects tracks, and you got pretty much 1,000 presets, 120 plus effects. So you could create your own presets with this. It's got a little granular, you can see right there, a little granular thing in there. So imagine four of those, a little step sequencer to come up with some movement. Kind of a cool piece of gear to have, I would think. And I'm speaking on strictly speculation as I have not tried this out, but it's something that definitely interests me. I'm not sure what the micro SD card is for, or I mean, that part I don't get. It's a pedal for sure. And then there's an expression portion. But I was thinking, because I haven't really used the Osmos as a standalone, like the actual synth inside of it much. But I was thinking, man, with something like that, I might be more prone to use it. I mean, I typically I would just run everything through the through an actual hard interface, which is probably the ideal situation. But if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, I think this thing has a built-in interface. So if you see the USB-C, obviously you can run a left and right out, and then there's a stereo in, which is pretty much all you would need. Just run from the out of the Osmos into the stereo in, and then there's having a left out and right out. I'm not sure I would ever use that, but it would have been cool if they put a headphone on that, but maybe that's not important. So, but anyway, this is something that I'm interested in. I'm not like sold on buying one at this price, but I could say if I ever saw one cheaper, maybe like a couple $100 cheaper, I would be more prone to grab it. What's up, crazy wabbit? Embrace that gear. Absolutely. Embrace whatever gear you're getting or got or thinking about getting, I guess. But yeah, this is the gear that or the piece that I wouldn't mind trying. I can't say I'm committed to it as I've never used it, so I don't really know if it's something that would fit my style or what I like, but it definitely is on the radar. The one thing I would, that price tag, yeah, man, you and me both, I agree. That price tag is not right for me. For an effects pedal, yeah, yeah, no. I know the Chroma console, I mean, a lot of people speak heavily of it, but it's one of those, you know, things where it's like when I see a price like this on a effects pedal, I'm just not intrigued enough. I mean, sure, you can stack four effects together, but $600? I don't know. That's not a we, that's a ye. But that is definitely something that's interesting nonetheless. I mean, because here's the thing: when you get to 600 here and you look up and you see like these HX Stomp multi effects plugin things, and they got, you know, guitar amps and whatever else in there, you're in that same price range and it's just effects. It's like, I don't know. So, don't know if I'm in on that deal, but definitely interesting. One of the things cool about Sweetwater is you can check their deals, and sometimes they have like this, in this case, a clearance, but they have some certified open boxes and some B stock stuff you can get into, and also a used section. Yes, I said the same thing, Crazy Web, at 399, and I'm all in. But that would be the max I want to pay for that. So that means I'm hitting a used market probably because, or unless they have some crazy discount where they just try to start selling it. The game is called patience, and if you wait long enough, eventually these prices do, because they have to eventually sell, right? They can't just sit around on shelves forever, or they'll discontinue and never make them again, I guess. But if they just sit, and then you probably know it ain't worth buying anyway at that point. So yeah, tell me some stuff you guys are interested in. I want to know. Let's look at their what's new. Korg put out this Chaos Pad V effects processor. So here's another effects processor that is like $650. Four sample banks, okay, and then they have these guitar stuff, whatever that is, a sample. You see the sample right there? I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is, but it is what it is. So this is out. Let's see what is up with them with these line in and line outs like that. Like I know DJs used to use that, but can't we just have quarter-inch stuff? Like I wonder why they choose that. The MIDI in and out is cool, I guess, and then this USB is fine, but the rest of it I don't get. And I do prefer USB-C, I must say. Oh, the RCA plugs, yeah, that's what they call them. See, I can't even remember because I forgot. I was like, oh, don't really have no reason. No to the Korg, absolutely no. Yeah, no, it won't be happening. They make interesting ideas and concepts. Like if somebody took that and expanded on it and did a better job, I would probably be interested, but nah, that's a wait. So yeah. But anyway, I was just taking a look and seeing what's new. Now these interfaces are new. I have not used them. I've seen a video on it, but not sure how good they are. But the Yamaha put out these interfaces. Look, you can see it right here. Big old screen. I mean, for interfaces, crazy. It's got knobs there. Input, output. Looks like a sub button of some sort. USB. We'll take a look at the back real quick. Touch and turn. Pretty clean looking interface. Headphones. So you got two headphones, and this is a headset. So this thing must be for like podcasting or something. DSP. So it's got a DSP processor in it. Of course, it's a touchscreen display. Works on Mac OS as well as Windows. What I don't. Okay, so that's the front. I was about to say that. I hope that's not the back. Let me see what the back looks like. There we go. So you do get some XLR combo jacks. Very nice. And the outputs, you got a left, right. Looks like you got a main and a sub. Oh, now that's interesting. I thought the sub was something else. Totally got me on that one. So the 5V DCN is obviously a power source, but these two over here are quite interesting to have a main and a sub. So two devices. It looks like a phone and a computer, which is what I was looking for with the Arturia one. So that's not bad. I might wait and see some reviews on it to see if people what they say, but It looks like it comes in white and black. Why is the white one so much cheaper? Oh, because it's 22. URX 22 versus 44. So that means this one has more inputs or more outputs. Let's take a look at the white one and see what it has. I need to see the back. Oh, okay. The white one is 40. Oh, so the 44 has four inputs. Got it. Now it makes sense. Has also a line, some outputs. You got your main output, so four outputs, four inputs. Your main, oh, a micro SD card. I wonder what that is. Interesting. Let's see if we can find something real quick to tell us what that micro SD card is for. Okay, so you can record to 16 tracks directly to the micro SD. That's what I wanted to know. Very nice. Screen is kind of okay. I mean, they could fix the coloring. That looks, but maybe they did that purposefully because it's easier on your eyes or something. Looks like here's some creative tools. Look right here. So you see it has a gate, compressor, EQ, reverb, amp simulators, voice changer. Very nice. Smart gain, clip safe, total effects featuring tools like Ducker and multiband compressor. Okay, not bad. Seamless integration. I'm just looking for something that stands out as different. Seems pretty much like, well, good Lord. 78 dB clean gain, that's pretty good. High-end 80 DA converters for accurate true to life. This is going to be one of those ones. You guys know who Julian is. I think his last name, Julian. What is Julian's last name? He does a lot of really high end and some budget friendly interfaces where he kind of goes over the specs and does some tests on them. He has a pretty cool channel if you haven't checked him out. I think his name is Julian. So I can't remember what his last name is. But anyway, he's on YouTube. You can find him. 32-bit. Nice, 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 nice. Flexible multi-system routing. So this is interesting. And Yamaha put it at a good price, I think. For all that it offers, 499, 500 bucks. I can't deny that's a pretty good deal. Now I would take mine in black, but yeah, because well, maybe I would. This thing might be a finger magnet, who knows? But at least it has a power button right there. Having the four ends is kind of cool. Yeah, the price point is nice. You're right, Crazy Rabbit. That's not bad at all. And I mean, if you didn't need all those ins and outs, you could go with the 22, the URX 22 for $100 cheaper. But for $100 more, you might as well get the extra inputs and outputs. I mean, you might as well, right? Don't cheat yourself for $100. I mean, if you're gonna spend this kind of money, just get the better. Get the one with the most. Nice. Did the Sharks just score? Yes, they did. Hey, got another goal. Cool. Sorry for you Detroit Red Wings fans, but we got that young team. We got Steph Curry on the ice. His name's Macklin Celebrini. That boy is something else, man. I went to a game and watched him just the other day. He's incredible, man. Of course, I've seen Steph a few times too, but he used to live in the area, not too far from here where I'm at. But anyway, back to the music. So let's go find something to view next. So definitely, maybe I'll take a look at this. I think the audio interface market is something I'm interested in. I'm not sure how much I like a touchscreen, but for that price, I would say at least try it. And then if you just don't like it, then just, you know what to do. I ain't gonna tell nobody what to do, but you know what to do. Um, so most of the rest of this stuff is guitars. So I would say I'm gonna put that on my potentials to try if I ever get a chance. Is a nice audio interface like that. No MIDI. Oh, good question. I thought I saw MIDI on there. Let me go back to the bottom here. Click on it. That is a good question. Now, I never use MIDI personally on an audio interface, but let's go down to the specs and see if it says streaming, recording, high end. Yeah, I don't, you're right. I don't see anything that says, let me look in here. I don't see anything that talks about MIDI. I mean, maybe there is something through the USB-C because you do have two ports that could. I'm trying to read real fast and I'm not seeing anything. Um, oh, you know what? Well, no, because that's you do have an aux on the front, the mic headset thing going on there with the two headphones. So that's really good, by the way. Um, yeah, I don't see anything on MIDI. That is a little, that is kind of weird, I guess, because most of the devices have it. But you know what? I personally wouldn't complain about that at all because I am not, I mean, I just plug my MIDI cable into the computer. It's not that big of a deal for me personally. But if you need to use your audio interface as a MIDI, oh, okay, for you, you wouldn't do it. Yeah, it is a nice option to have. I mean, if you got audio interfaces galore and you're not really in the market for it, totally understand that because I don't really want one unless the only time I ever think I want one is when I'm trying to do something like maybe if I want to use the Osmos or some type of hardware piece. But I really only have the only synth and only device I really have is the Osmos. So if I buy the other keyboard, then maybe I would be interested. But at this present, or if I got that pedal, I guess I'd be interested. But other than that, I really don't have a personal use case for this at all, to be honest. It's just a nice window shopping piece to look at. Let's go back to what's new and see if we can figure out if there's anything else that I may be missing. What's this? Oh, Squire Precision Base. Nope. Love it, but don't need it. Definitely don't care if I get that or not. So this is a mixer over here. Let's check. Yamaha is dropping a few things, it looks like. Let's see what this mixer is they got going on. Not that I would buy a mixer, but the same principle. Here's a screen. You get 8, 12, 16 if you count those RCAs. I'm not even trying to touch that though. Not too bad. It comes in two colors, same as the other one. Yeah, this one's a little easier on the eyes for me. Yeah, so a full mixer. Let's see. And here's the pads, I guess, over here. So you get 8. Not bad. Let's see if this one has MIDI on the back or on the front. Let's see what the, good Lord, what is this? HDMI. Okay. I guess you run your TV through it also or something? Or your computer? Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I don't see MIDI on this, so let's check the spec just to see. Does have Bluetooth. Most of them do nowadays have Bluetooth. Nothing with MIDI. But 800 bucks for the black, no. Where do you see? Oh, you saw a price? Oh, I saw this 13.99. Yeah, no. That price is a little bit excessive. Here's the MG12. That one's 1,000. Nope. Yeah, I'm not really looking for a mixer personally. I just wanted to see what it was, to be honest with you. This one, what is this thing? A little controller. So I guess Yamaha is trying to get those Stream Deck. Oh, okay. It's a controller for select DAWs and the Stream Deck. with the Stream Deck Flow or something like that. I guess Stream Deck worked with them maybe to do this. That's cool. If you need a jog wheel and you want all the mutes and solos on one with your one fader to use as a controller. How much is this thing? 399. What in the world? Yeah, foot pedal. No, I don't know about this either. I mean, I guess if you need it, 399 is not that bad. That's big boy money. Yeah, 800 for the black. Yeah, I I don't need any of that, or it's just a bit overkill. I think for most stuff. All right, so that seems to be it. I don't see too much NAM stuff. Usually they will have something in advance, but I guess we'll hear something in the coming days with regards to that. Software. Is any software you guys interested in that's coming out? Let's take a look at this while we're here. Might as well. Software gear, it goes together. It's all one of one. Trying to think. I know Fab Filter released the new Pro C3, which it just moved on me. Let me go back. Right here. I have it on not the C3, I have the C2, I want to say, on iOS, and guess who never uses it? Yep, that's me. I never use it. I don't really see why I even I think you buy stuff just on impulse, like somebody says, "Hey, this is really cool," and you just get it, and you're like, and then after you get it, it doesn't do anything. It just sits there, and you're like, "Why did I buy this?" Don't do that. That's not good behavior. It's actually a waste of money, is what it is. But all right, let's see if there's any deals. Eh, if you need a bass plug-in that's pretty cheap, that actually sounds decent, I'll give our IK Multimedia a little credit. The Moto Bass 2 is okay. It sounds okay. Scalar 3 for iPads. Yeah, they're working on, I think they said they're working on the iPad version, but it's just taking longer than what we kind of expect. We always feel like if you drop it for one, drop it for the other type thing, but I guess it's not that easy. So they're working on it. It'll be out, I'm sure, soon. You're not missing too much unless you're really diehard wanting to use their built-in studio. What is it called? It's like a way you can use your plugins in it, almost like a DAW. Unless you're just dying to use that, which I have not used it one time yet because it just doesn't interest me at all, I'll be honest. I'm gonna use Ableton before I use that. So for me, I just use it to house chord ideas when I need them. So that's it. Yeah, I'm not really interested in no new iPad apps. Koala's cool, AUM is cool. Occasionally I get the itch to use Drombo, but that's about it. I'm really kind of over the iPad. I mean, I use it right now to see your comments, but other than that, I might do some reading on it, but I don't make music on the iPad. I'll make a song on the iPhone before I use the iPad because I'm just over it. I mean, it took too long to grow, and with technology being as fast as it is these days, people's patience is slim. So when you take 10 years to build something that you can do, should be able to do faster, technically, then people lose interest in it. And so maybe someday, if like Ableton decides to drop on iPad, doubt it, but I'm just saying, then the iPad would interest me again and I'd be right back on it. But in the meantime, the whole touch screen thing is just not, it doesn't really appeal to me that much. I'm not opposed to using a mouse. And what's funny is like even having the iPad with the Magic Keyboard, which I do right now, and I'm touching the screen. I mean, I'm touching the iPad keyboard. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, just get back to the computer. It's just better. Yeah, Apple's not opening things. Yeah, that's right. The USB-C port, like they need to build some iPads with like multiple ports on it or something so that people don't have to buy dongles and stuff. You could just, things of that nature. But they're not. If they ever did that though, put two ports on it, I think people would be prone to want to grab it. So maybe. We'll see. Not much out right now. I think what's happening with me with a lot of music is I've got what I want and need. Now I'm just looking at presets. And I think I showed you guys know what Luthrum is. They make good stuff. I want this new one they came out with for Omnisphere. Yeah, they offer 20% you sign. I signed up and never got the newsletter. I don't know what that's about, but I just don't want to pay $50 for one pack. If it was like half off or something, then I might. But it is at least 128 presets, which is kind of nice. So, but yeah, I'm just not there. But what's cool is if you grab the Arturia keyboard and then you head over to some of the sites I told you guys about, like Audio Juice, and grab his presets. These presets work in Audio Lab. They work in see Audio Lab Bank. They work in Pigments. This one in Pigments, but yeah, Arteria Pigments Bank. So you can start using that kind of stuff, those presets um in your actual keyboard. Now that's pretty cool. And then you use that with the iPad or the iPhone and use your recording or whatever. If you want to use your Loopy Pro, that's cool. But Koala for me is one that I would just grab Koala and do everything. So I know, let's see, I'm kind of tapped out honest on new stuff. Sounds good. Glass isn't for me. We need knobs. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you, Crazy Rabbit. I need tactile, um, which is, fine. I get the whole thing of like, now see, here's the thing for me. I want quality sound. So you could take the MacBook or whatever you're going to use, get your presets and record out to a sampler if that's what you want to use, or if you want to use the MPC, that's cool too. So that's definitely an option if that's what you want to do. Um, it definitely works. But another place to check like for stuff is Reverb. eBay can be kind of sketch. You take a high risk, a lot more of a risk. But now this is an item I wanted to get and liked. The price is insane for what it is, but it's literally a synthesizer, a small thin synthesizer. And if they would have made the software where you could actually bring your own samples into this thing, then I think it would have sold even better and been more incredible. It took forever to get it out too. That was another thing. But then if you look at the price, it's a little bit pricey too. I mean, 430 for this. So maybe if they get that price down to like 299, more people would want to grab it. What's up, Beats in Bed? Good to see you back on your channel too. I gotta stop in actually check out your video. We're just talking about gear and different things that we see or maybe interested in. So this was one of the ones on my list. I had it actually in the cart and placed the order, but canceled because watched a video about it and somebody was saying the software was janky. Kind of threw me off. I was like, nah, I better not do that. Kind of glad I didn't. It didn't really take off like people thought it would. So that's kind of a bummer, but whatever. It is what it is, right? You can't. So the Astrolab, you can see right here. So you can find one. I was hoping to get one cheaper on sale. I found a guy that I bought from before who offered me a deal. It wasn't the greatest deal, but I can't complain about it. It wasn't a bad deal. He actually was gonna give me a brand new one, even though he was selling a used one. He was gonna give me a brand new one for the same price as the used one, which was only like $100 off of this. So $100 off is still nice though, but I've been waiting to see if I really want to do it. And the problem is everybody that I know that got one, they're not saying much about it. Like they're not talking enough about it to get me intrigued. So it's just like, oh yeah, it's really good. They always say it's really good, but can you tell me what's good about it? Give me a little more. Here's one right here for 630. Can you give me a little more insight on why it's good? Are you even using the thing? Is the question, I guess. Fender controllers. When you say no in-ear headphones on reverb, please definitely not. Yeah, we already know about that. We don't touch any used headphones. I'm just kind of like, nah, definitely not. Fender controllers. When you say Fender controllers, can you elaborate on what you mean? Are we talking about pedals? Like, what do you mean by Fender controllers? Let me see if I will hear Fender controller. Crazy ass the pattern, get hyped for 15 minutes and then on to the next. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That is so true. That's exactly what people do. They get hyped. They are new. Is this what you're talking about? Like a Fender Link IO? Hold on. Yeah, that'd be nice. Give me $20 off. But you talking about something like this? I'm not sure. Are you talking about Studio One? Something from Studio One where they to control Fender Studio Pro. Oh, let's see. Fender. Let's see if we type in Fender Studio, if it comes up. Okay, so this is the interface. Let's see. Fender Audio Box on the go. Fender Quantum. That's the audio interface. Yeah, I'm not seeing what you're. Unless is this unless you're talking about like an audio interface. This is a rebranded audio box. Let's go. That's all it is. Nope, they're MIDI controllers. Okay. Yeah, let me check Sweetwater because they usually have all the latest stuff. Fender MIDI controller. Is this it right here? The Motion 16? All right, let me take a look and see if I can find that. Fender Motion 16. Okay, so here's what you're talking about. I have not seen this. This is interesting. Production and performance controller. Okay, with a little slider. Solo repeat. Okay, so it's a little. Oh, it's got like 8 macro knobs at the top. Let's see, little bitty screen, which is okay. Replace low chord scale. I'm gonna have to look into this one. It's got. I wonder if it'll work for Ableton. I know obviously it's for the Studio Pro stuff, but looks like it comes with a. Does it come with a license? Works with any DAW, so it does work with any DAW according to what it says here. Hardware features. I'm trying to see immediate add button for the virtual 30. I can't imagine they made this and it doesn't work with Ableton. So interesting. I'm gonna have to do a little more research, but the 16 Fatar design polyphonic touchpads, Fatar design, that's quality typically. I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, I'll do some more research on this one. I can't say I know exactly anything about it though, but this is cool. I'm glad you introduced us to this. They have to replace. Yeah, that's true. They have to replace the Adams SQ. I think is the sequencer thing. They have two of them. There it is. Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, that's the only one. Is there another one? Oh, the Motion 32 is the other one. Okay. Let's see. So this one's the prices are really good. This one's got two touch strips, very nice. So that's the replacement for the SQ. I wonder if the pads made by Fatar are way better. This one still has the eight knobs on it. What are these down here? Pads, launch. I don't know. This looks pretty good. I didn't care for the Atom stuff. I did try the SQ and I didn't care for it. If you scroll down at the bottom, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me see. So yeah, 32 Fatar design. So that's cool. I think this one appeals to me more because it's like a keyboard layout, which is just more appealing. Um 30 plus ear grabbing chord progressions. Sometimes chord progressions are good. And these, I mean, most of the time they're going to be real basic though. Immediate. I prefer scale lock more than chord progressions. Like I can make my own if you lock the scale, right? For me. So it's pretty, I mean, I can make it without it too, but if I want something easier, I think it's scale lock is much more intriguing. But and it may have them. I see these chord. They're promoting chords because people like that. But that would be my question. Does it do scale lock? Because if it does, and I find that smart scale, look at here. I'm wondering if smart scale is scale lock, what they call it. So that's probably it. They have built-in scales. Good. That's already intriguing. Ear grabbing. Okay. Yeah. So this is nice. Let me see. You know what? Is it run off of? Probably doesn't. I shouldn't get my expectations that high, but trying to find whether it runs off of batteries or something. They only give you three pictures though. That's kind of. I'm gonna have to check it out on another website or something. But it would be nice. Let's check the spec. Where's the spec? They didn't. This is what they put in the spec. The manufacturer part. That's really helpful. Maybe there'll be some more information coming in. 30 plus ear grabbing. This is what you're talking about, ear grabbing. Oh boy. It does say here they include a perpetual license for Fender Studio Pro. So if you like their software, which I've never used, I've used Studio One if it's the same, but I've never used, I don't know what Fender Studio Pro is going to be like. Works with any DAW. I bet you the amps in here are good though if you're using guitar. I can't imagine Fender putting something out without the amps being good. So that's intriguing because I'm a big fan of Fender guitar and their amps. Let's see what else. Control, focus, note effects. So yeah, it's basically an updated version that Fender's bought into. Looks like they went and put a little more detail into this one. And the 16 pads is, wait, what was the difference in price? That's not big of a difference to me. Let's see, 30, you're talking about what, 50 bucks maybe or something like that? Maybe a little more, 60 bucks maybe for the bigger version. I would like to see, okay, here we go. So MIDI in and out. Mic, that's the TRS MIDI. And then you have, looks like your USB-C. What's on this side? Nothing. So they put more pictures on this one, which is nice. You know what would have been cool is if this had a battery. I can't deny, I still, these little controllers like this, if they have batteries in them, or even something that you could put a battery in would be nice, where you could just, you don't have to have power. I mean, it can, Bluetooth. That's what I'm talking. Battery and Bluetooth. Those things need to be put in everything these days. I mean, $100 more would have been worth to just have battery and Bluetooth. But I need to see what it does. So I'm definitely going to look into it just because I want to know. Even if I don't get it ever or use it, I just want to know. And that price is really good. The Move is still on a list of something I would like, but it has to come down tremendously. Like I need it around the $300 range. For 4 tracks, it doesn't appeal to me unless it comes down on price. It looks pretty good though. So it's called the Fender Motion Studio Motion 32. Yes, they do. The Atom Sequence 2 has it. No need for software. Wow. They brought Personas. Yeah, they did. Because when I went and looked at a Personas interface, Quantum, what is it called? The Quantum or something like that? Fender owns it. I did some research on it and they own it. It's no longer Studio One. Yeah. Yes, I'm with you, Wabbit. 199 for the Move. Absolutely. Even 299 at the most would be still pretty good because it acts as a controller for Ableton. If you're in Ableton, then it will be even more worth it for that person. But yeah, it has a and the cool thing is it has a battery, so that's kind of nice to have. But yeah, this is interesting. Thank you so much, Beats in Bed. I'm gonna have to take a look at that and do some more research and see what it's really like. Again, I've used Studio One back in the day for a little bit when it was out. It was okay. It wasn't a bad, you know, software. I like it. It's decent. Um, it wasn't my favorite, but it was decent. I actually used it around the time when I was switching to Ableton because I was debating whether I was going to go Ableton or stick with that coming from Logic, and I ended up just being like, I'm going Ableton. There's no point in me switching to something that's not. So, but anyway, my family is walking in the door, or just walked in the door, I should say. I'm gonna probably go ahead and get off at this time. I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by. What'd you say? You think the price is worth or you think the? Actually, think you know what? I'm with you, Beats and Bear. I think the price is fine. If you're talking about this motion one, because I think the thing with the if we're talking about the Ableton Move though, the reason why I think the price is a little bit high is because it's only 4 tracks. If it was 399, I think it'd be spot on. But anything above 399 for me is just a little bit much. So, but anyway, we could talk about that some more. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you on the next video. All right, guys, I'm out.